The following numbers are obviously not perfect squares. Give reason. So we have some numbers here, and it has already been given to us that these numbers are not perfect squares. But you have to tell why. What's the reason? Now, we have discussed this thing when we were discussing about properties of square numbers. And there we discussed that you cannot have a square number which either ends with 2 or with 3 or with 7 or with 8. It can end with either 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9. So these are the digits 2, 3, 7 and 8 that a square number cannot have at its units place. These are the digits which a square number can have at its units place. If you want to know the reason, then please watch those tutorials on properties of square numbers. So here it is 1057. This is not a square number because it has 7 at its units place. Right? It has 7 at its units place. This is 23,453. Again, it has 3 at its units place. So your square number cannot have 3. In this case, it has 8. Your square number cannot have 8. This is 2. Your square number cannot have 2. This is 0. Now, hang on. This is 0. You'll quickly say that, hey, you know what? Since a square number can have 0 at its units place, so yes, this is a square number. No, there's another property that we have discussed, and that property says that your square number will always have even number of zeros. If a square number ends with 0, then it will surely have even number of zeros in the end. Okay, so here you have 1, 2 and 3. So this number has 3 zeros, which is an odd number. 3 is an odd number. So your square number which ends with 0 will have even number of zeros. It cannot have odd number of zeros. Therefore, this is also it's not a square. It's not perfect squares. Now here, this is 89,722. So it cannot have 2 at its units place. So this is the reason. In this case, again, you have 3 zeros, right? You have 3 zeros. Therefore, it will not be a perfect square. And in this case, again, you have 1 0 at the units place. The number ends with 1 0. So this is again an odd number. So your number is not a perfect square. Now, if you're wondering that why it cannot end with odd number of zeros, it's very simple. Let's take 10, and then you can take 100. Okay, you can take 20, you can take 200. Now if you take the square of this one, so this is 10 times 10. It means what? 100, right? This is 100. If you take the square of it, 100 times 100, you get 4 zeros, right? If it is 20, you get 20 times 20 is what? 400. So if you have 1 0 in a number, if your number ends with 1 0, you take the square of that one, you will get 2 zeros. If your number ends with 2 zeros, you take the square of that number, then you will have 4 zeros. If your number ends with 3 zeros and you take a square of that number, then your number will have 6 zeros in the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and we have discussed this point and this one in a very detailed way in our video tutorials when we're learning about properties of square numbers. Please watch those tutorials. When you understand the properties, then these questions are a piece of cake for you.